go a little bit wider afield now. Hippo. The fact that the hippo isn't even watching us means that I still think there's something there. But we're going to go down to Weaver's Nest, come back up the other side of this Treehouse Dam Road, the extension of Elephant Skull. Any stations out yet? Female leopard tracks, not here. I didn't see her tracks heading up back towards Philemon's cut line, so let's have a look on Weaver's Nest. Excuse me, Frankelins. Thank you, children. See, it's got to be polite and then they move out the road. We were here after the elephants, and the leopard was here after us. So we would need to have a look at tracks again and again. I know we were here earlier. A double take. No. Will you tell her come in? The hippo tracks from that other hippo are here. He might have gone to Treehouse Dam actually. But no, just doing a double take on this road. Ephraim, come in. Yeah, afternoon. Where are you guys heading this afternoon? Sorry, repeat that. Where's the lock? Okay, but no Karula. Yeah, I've got Herm Konzo here at Treehouse Dam, coming up onto Treehouse Dam from Spam Road, but there's also tracks of my daughter Ingwe here, but I'm not seeing them leaving the dam. Okay, also there's a few Madod and Dlov on the southwestern side of quarantine. And one in Yari, one in Vubu Treehouse Dam. Okay, so Karula's cubs are there, but she's not there, and that's why I think these are her tracks. We just heard something moving up, chasing, well, I didn't hear something moving, but something chased the Franklin just beyond the dam. So we're going to go back up towards Philemon's cut line. Maybe she was walking there. We'll see her tracks on top of our tracks coming down to Treehouse Dam. If it is her, she might have been watching me walking around, tucked her head in the grass. She's not a stranger to us humans. She knows us individually, I'm sure, since being in camp so many times. She's seen me. I've watched her from my room, so I have no doubt she recognizes me and knows maybe that she just had to hide away and instead of being aggressive. If she had her cubs, she might have been aggressive, but her cubs are up on Triple M. They have evidently come out onto that firebreak area, so we can make our way there to go and see them. Be much more comfortable finding her and following her back to the cubs, being with the cubs and her together rather than just being with the cubs on their own. But what would be incredible would be to see if we can find her and find her making her way back towards them, because it's getting late afternoon now. She's not going to be leaving them overnight. I very much doubt it. But she's going to let them be on their own during the night, especially when hyena and lion start moving around. So there's a good chance she's going to be making her way back towards them. The fresh tracks were on that side of the dam, and then there was nothing east of the dam, so there's a good chance that she crossed through this drainage line, more or less here where this buffalo was. Might have been why the hippo was doing what it was doing. Let's go and have a look. Maybe we can find her and follow her. Oh boy, don't know where to begin this afternoon. Also, I wanted to go back to the Ellies, but we're not going to be able to do that right now. Hello, Tim. Something in there. Only the leopard tracks coming down to the dam here. Tim's asking, are we allowed to use roadkill to bait the big cats and stuff? Well, we don't really get much roadkill, Tim. In fact, we don't get any roadkill. If there is any roadkill, it's millipedes and maybe a snake here and there, or a lizard, or a grasshopper. Hardly enough to bait a big cat. But no, it's not a case of not being allowed to. It's that it would never occur to us. It's just so unethical. Just would never do that. The other thing is that no, I don't even know how to respond to that. No, just a simple no. I think will do, rather than getting. Because that's likely to work me up, just talking about it. There's actually a tree on the other side of Treehouse Dam where I think that used to, because there's wire up in a marula tree 10 to 15 feet off of the ground. And Treehouse Dam is called Treehouse Dam because it used to have a tree house in it. But I'm reckoning that that's probably like from about 20 years ago. Yes, it used to be done, Tim. In the good old, no, they weren't good old days. They were bad old days. It is something that used to be done. I know there are some lodges, in fact, some lodges that are some of the biggest lodges here in the Sabi Sand. Why did that branch move?
There was a squirrel in it.
So maybe chameleon or snake. I know that some of the big major lodges here in the Sabi Sand used to, I won't mention names, for fear of being sued for libel or defamation or whatever. There's the buffalo tracks. He came down here after we arrived. but I'm not seeing any leopard tracks. So maybe it was the buffalo that frightened the Franklin earlier. They used to pull in leopards. I know that when I first started working in the bush in the mid 80s, funny enough at a place called Ulusaba, I was trainee manager and the only guide. There was only 8 guests at Ulusaba at the time. It wasn't owned by Branson. There were 3 owners prior to Branson. There's another Ellie. And the guy who was managing the camp at the time, or the lodge rather, was a big friend of a guy who was managing a lodge next door. I won't mention names once again. And I know that they used an Impala one night and tapes of lion calling to bring in lion. But you can get banished from this part of the world now for doing that. How are you? Good. I know. Do you see that big Madoda on quarantine?
Yeah, 2 big Madoda.
No, there's one Makulu.
Yeah, I
Okay, there's Ingwe down here. Karula's somewhere here. The Mkonzo comes down from Spam Road down towards Treehouse Dam.
Yes.
On top of my Mkonzo from this morning, because I was there at maybe 9 o'clock this morning, 8:45.
Okay.
And there's also, I had a look in the mud down at the western edge of the dam. There's a big Madoda Ingwe here as well, but I can't see anything. And that Mvubu is behaving strangely.
Okay, it could be Jordan and her. They always
Yeah,
hang around.
yeah. Where are you going now?
In Parapet, I just want to book a date for people.
Okay, but I'm sure a lot of the eastern guys are going to be there.
Yeah, it was one now, Armando.
Look at that little one. Okay, well, I'll make my way there after you. Just keep me posted. Okay. Now these elephants are all over here now. This is where the big herd is. Stretched from here all the way to quarantine. And if you've got a map, you can see it's quite a large area. All these females, and here's the one with the half ear that we saw the other day. This female. We are looking into the sun. It's a little bit awkward, I know. Half an ear and only one tusk. Been in the mud somewhere. I'm just going to move forward. Let's try and get a better angle. We're not looking into the sun. She's an interesting elephant. I can't even begin to imagine what would result in losing almost the entire ear. Look at that little one. We saw that. That was one of the little ones that was bouncing at us the other day. There we go. Some fairly good shade here to stand in. No, none of the other little ones.